What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video. Today we're covering Batman #106, 106, written by James Tynion and drawn by Jorge Jimenez. This is the first Batman comic spinning out DC Infinite Frontier. I'll leave a link down below in the description to my video on DC Infinite Frontier #0 to get you guys caught up, alright? Because there is some context that you didn't know before getting to the issue that we're covering today. But yeah, if you guys are ready, let's dive into this issue. Bruce Wayne sits in an emergency room in a hospital. There are TV screens all around him. He is strapped to a chair with a black mask covering all of his face except his eyes. He is trying to fight back against the fear around him. The Scarecrow walks up from behind him and takes out needles that have a dose of fear toxin in them. Bruce thinks he can fight back, but Scarecrow is confident that he has the upper hand this time. Scarecrow pushes the needles into Bruce's shoulders. Bruce screams and tries to remember how this all started. We flash back to old Gotham. Batman drives his Batmobile on the streets of Gotham with Oracle, Barbara Gordon, in his ear on comms. Batman is going after the Insanity Collective, a new villainous group in Gotham. Batman asks Oracle who they've hit tonight. Oracle reports that the Insanity Collective has hit Action Cole, CEO and owner of the Gotham Gazette. The Insane Collective is going after media Mongols. Their leader, Master Wise, believes that Gotham is becoming more crazy, and the only way to move forward is to embrace a new kind of sanity. He wants every citizen of Gotham to join the Insanity Collective. Join the new Gotham City. In front of Batman, in the streets of Gotham, we see two men on motorcycles. They're driving faster to get away from Batman. Now in the sky, we see this glider. Three men, a part of the Insane Collective, are steering it. Now they notice that Batman is on their tail. They then get a call from one of their higher-ups. Her name is Miracle Molly. She tells one of the members, Mikey, to stay strong. They can get away from the bat easily. Meanwhile, Batman gets out his grappling gun and fires it at the glider above him. He tells Oracle that the Batmobile is in her control now. All she has to do is make sure it doesn't hit any cars in the street. Batman shoots up out of the Batmobile. Now, in front of the Batmobile, the two men on the motorcycles drive faster. Now, they think that Batman has decided to leave. One of the motorcycle riders is relieved that Batman stopped chasing them. He says, "Oh, thank God. I'm all about insanity, but I really didn't want to get punched by Batman tonight." Now, Oracle then notices that someone else has shown up to take down the motorcycle riders. It isn't Batman. It's Ghostmaker. Ghostmaker makes his huge entrance, taking out both motorcycle riders in one shot. Batman makes it onto the glider above. One of the three members of the Insane Collective shout at Batman saying, "Don't mess with us, Batman. We're the future of Gotham City. War." But the man is cut off when Batman punches him in the face. One of the other members tries to take out a gun, but Batman knocks the gun out of his hand with a batarang. And Batman then proceeds to knock out that guy with another punch. Now, Batman tells the last man standing, "Bring the glider down. Now. This is over." The man responds, "No, Master Wise says this is only the beginning. People are going to see what insanity has to offer them." The man then steps back, intimidated. Batman holds his friends in both hands, knocked out. Batman responds, "I said, bring it down now." We fast forward later at Robson Park. Batman ties up the three men around a pole. Batman answers the calls that were supposed to go to the men who are now knocked out and tied up. Now, Batman speaks with their higher-up, Miracle Molly. Batman tells her he is coming after her. Miracle Molly tells Batman that he has enough to worry about right now. The police are on their way, and they're against vigilantes. Miracle Molly hangs up the call, telling Batman that he needs to deal with that first before dealing with her. Now, Ghostmaker shows up and asks Batman what to do next. Oracle tells both of them to leave. The police are almost at their location. Batman and Ghostmaker escape. Now, we see Harley Quinn on a rooftop above. She shows up a little late. She sees the police arrive, and she's mad. She keeps missing Batman before he leaves. She needs to be faster. We shift to Midtown in Gotham. In a large building, a man named Simon Saints presents his idea for Gotham to Mayor Nakano. He wants Gotham to be a place of peace, not of terror. After the Sea of Bane, the Batman Who Laughs, and the Joker War, Gotham needs a new system of protection. Simon shows Nakano his Magistrate program. The police are not at the level of the terror caused in the city of Gotham. Batman is feeding it without even knowing. Simon introduces the idea of peacekeepers. Gotham City can be safer with the peacekeepers around. Mayor Nakano thinks Simon Saint's argument is compelling. Nakano promises Simon that he'll talk with his advisors about the Magistrate program. Simon's assistant escorts Mayor Nakano out of the office. Outside, a mysterious figure watches from afar. We shift to Bruce inside his garage in his new apartments. It's smaller than Wayne Manor, but big enough to hold a hiding spot for everything needed to be the Batman, right? We have a Batmobile, we have all this high tech, so Bruce is doing pretty good. Now, Ghostmaker is punching a bag and comments on Bruce's problems with having neighbors. Bruce has never really had real neighbors, only ones that lived a mile away. Ghostmaker tells Bruce that he needs to clean up. Bruce looks at his mini cave and thinks. He then tells Ghostmaker that he'll clean up once he's done looking over the Insane Collective's crime spree. Now, Bruce gets up and begins to box with Ghostmaker. They go over all the information Bruce has collected on the Insane Collective so far. Ghostmaker asks Bruce, what do they want? Bruce responds, they want to make the city afraid. We shift to Mayor Nakano arriving at his mansion. He tells his bodyguards to remind him about Simon Saint in the morning. Nakano doesn't trust Simon or the Magistrate program. He wants to put an end to it right away. Nakano walks into his house and sits on the couch. He watches the news and sees that Gotham is worried. They wonder what dangerous madmen will come for the city next. Now Nakano sits back and drinks his beverage. He's calm, but behind him, we see a Scarecrow in the darkness. And that's how we end Batman number 106. So that was Batman and 106, and this was a really solid issue, a great issue to get people back into the main Batman title coming into DC Infinite Frontier. Now, the artwork by Jorge Jimenez, phenomenal as always, looks really good, looks action-packed, looks slick. I really like his design for Batman, for Nakano. He actually really makes Nakano look really cool, actually, when Nakano is in the office. Like, he looks like a mayor. It fits him, which I know that kind of sounds like, wait, why are you focusing on Nakano? But I just felt like Jorge Jimenez actually made Nakano have more of a presence with his artwork. Now, the best design in the book, though, is Scarecrow's. Guys, Scarecrow's new design looks dope. I really like his design. Jorge Jimenez drops it so well. And all the scenes with Scarecrow, which are very few in this issue, only like the beginning. And I think that figure that I was watching Nakano from afar was Scarecrow as well. So we didn't get a lot of Scarecrow, but the parts that we did give him, he was very intimidating, very cool, and his design was just phenomenal. Looked really good. So I can praise Jorge Jimenez's artwork all day, but let's get to the writing. The writing by James Tynion was alright. Like, the story itself started out good. Like, alright, we have an action sequence. Well, actually, no. The story started out in the future with Bruce being tied up by Scarecrow. That was actually very interesting. It started that way. And started out the issue on a very exciting note. Now that we then shift to the Batman going after the Insane Collective with Oracle in his ear. Now, having Oracle, Barbara Gordon in Batman's ear was a cool touch. I actually really like Barbara as Oracle now. I feel like it suits her more. Now, seeing Batman and Ghostmaker just team up against these Insane Collective members was really dope. I really liked that scene, but at the same time, it was kinda just good for an action sequence. There wasn't a lot of substance there. Like, the whole interchange, or like the dialogue between Batman and Ghostmaker wasn't anything memorable. Like, it was fine enough, it wasn't terrible, but nothing that great. And also, Batman's talk with Miracle Molly, whatever. Like, I'm not really hyped about Miracle Molly yet. She has an okay design, not really great, and it just feels like James Tynion is adding another character to this whole run, and I don't feel like Miracle Molly really should be added. And Master Wise, or whatever his name is, like the leader of the Insane Collective, I know he's a new character, but he's not being pushed, so I'm fine with that. He doesn't seem super interesting. He may become interesting down the line, but for now, though, he's doing what he needs to be, just like a background villain. He doesn't need to be like Miracle Molly, where she's gonna be pushed for probably the next 2 issues. Like, I think issue number 103 has Miracle Molly on the cover. Obviously, James Tynion is pushing her as, like, his new punchline, like, this big new character, but I'm just not as excited for her as I was excited for Punchline last year. Now, getting to other parts in the book, let's talk about the Magistrate program, like the origin of the Magistrate and the Peacekeepers. I really like that. It gave an origin to the Magistrate, and it was well done. Like, I feel like the Magistrate up to this point has been kind of cool, but also kind of like, alright, where'd they come from? We don't know that much about them. They feel kind of generic. So it gives some background on that. And see how it's connected to Nakano. Gave us some great context. It was actually very interesting. Now, something I want to note that I didn't talk about in my Infinite Frontier number 0 video was that Peacekeeper 01, I think, was in that issue as Officer Mahoney. The one that dies at Arkham Asylum. He looks like him in Infinite Frontier. Like, really, if you compare that guy in Infinite Frontier, Officer Mahoney, to Future State, Peacekeeper 01, they look very similar, just with like different haircuts. So I found that very intriguing. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much my thoughts on this issue. The ending was just alright, telling us, oh, Scarecrow's coming and Nakano should watch out. That's pretty much it. This was a setup issue, but I hope the storyline picks up next issue a lot. And I hope James Tynion kinda stops introducing characters, just use the characters that he has introduced so far and make a compelling story. If he does that, then I think we have an awesome storyline on our hands, and I'm excited. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna give this issue an 8.3 out of 10. I recommend it. Check it out. It's the main Batman title. Why not? If you don't like the story, well, you still got amazing artwork by Jorge Menez. But yeah, guys, if you like the video, give a big thumbs up. New channel, make sure to subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Batman comic review. And yeah, thanks for watching, and peace out.